I mean, this is part of the thing that I like about watching old stuff is it's just not the shit that is in theaters now. Where it's 90% superhero films and then CG big budget bullshit.
Franchise stuff.
It's fun. Like, the cool thing about that is like that comes from an era where they made like let's call them double A films. You know what I mean? Like, so movies that didn't cost $100 million and movies that weren't $1 million, but they were like $20 million. Like, remember that? Remember when budgets were more reasonable, where they would make these mid-tier pictures?
That's gone.
Yeah, I know. They don't do that shit anymore. It's either an indie movie and they made it for peanuts shot on a fucking iPhone, or they spent $200 million. But there's
really no in between. It's been hollowed out.
Right. But there was a whole era where they would throw like 8-10 million and make these mid-tier films. And a lot of them are fun and worth a watch. You know, and it makes me miss that kind of stuff. Because every once in a while you get little gems. And it gave more variety at the fucking theater. Fuck. Studios used to make a lot of content. And now they spend so much goddamn money on these big budget, you know, built-in audience bullshit pictures that like there's just no money left for them to make little stuff like Out to Sea, you know, fun little little romps.
Those also don't succeed because the only thing that gets asses in seats is like gigantic franchises with built-in audiences. Like,
well, see, I disagree with that. I think that's fucking bullshit. I think that's what they think.
Audience
I think that's what they think.
But they keep trying comedies and things like that, and they flop because people don't like. People are tight with their money in this economy, and you're going, well, why would I go like spend the money to see like a screwball comedy?
I get what you're saying.
$20 million screwball comedy when I can just wait for it to come out on streaming.
Yeah, okay. Well, then do that. The streaming services are still making their fucking money. Like, the studios should just each own a streaming service. Or I'll agree to use one. Who fucking cares? They're still getting their money. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know what you're saying about, like, the movie. It costs a lot to go to the movie
I'm just saying it's like,
I think it's a little hyperbolic to be like, no one's going to go see these movies, because the problem is, I think all the studios think that, and they go, well, they're only going to see one movie a month, so let's not even bother with this shit. And it's like, let's talk about comedy movies in general. They are basically like gone.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
It's because they keep failing at the box office.
I'm gonna bring up upcoming. I want to see if I can get a list of upcoming movies, and I don't think like fucking any of them are comedies. I gotta find this somewhere. I had here upcoming movies. Maybe I forgot to bookmark it. I thought I had bookmarked it. Oh, maybe I didn't. Because I wanted to see which, like, the upcoming slate of movies coming out, and I guarantee you the majority of them are not fucking comedies. It's all going to be like big budget action movies. Hold on a sec here, folks. I'm going to see if I can bring up the movies coming soon for this year.
Looks like it.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell you the genre. That's the problem, right? So we don't know. Like, The Mother, is that a comedy movie or is that you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was hoping we could see the genre. I'll have to work on this another time. I obviously can't do this off the cusp. But can we both agree that comedy movies basically don't really get made anymore?
No, but I'm just saying, I think it's because they don't put asses in seats. Like, I think,
well, then make them fucking funnier.
The era of the giant gotta go see it in theaters comedy, that ended in like the 2000s and like the early 2010s.
I know what you're saying. Like you mean the Judd Apatow type stuff?
Yeah, the Apatow era. I think the tail end of that was like the last Hangover movie, whichever one, 3 or 4. And then it's just sort of
what was the last big, like, what big box office comedy movie you can think of?
Probably the last Hangover movie. I'd have to guess.
The last
I don't know.
one?
I'm not an expert. I'm just
like, I'm actually
guessing.
trying to think like what the last one was. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, they just don't make a lot of comedy movies anymore, and it's kind of depressing.
They tried to make
like every fucking movie in the movie theaters right now is action or superhero.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. It's like, those are your options. It's like, go see John Wick 4 or whatever latest Marvel bullshit is out there. And then the odd time, what? If you go to like a theater that has a bunch of screens, you might get like a drama film, like something half decent.
Yeah.
But like, and animated movies. Sorry, animated movies, kids movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll always make those. There's one of those every other month.
Fast X?
Yeah, but that's an action movie.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Giant
it's action or
blockbuster
action or
movie.
superhero movie. You got no other like the variety at the cinema. Action, superhero movie, kids movie. What do you want to watch? In fact, I made a whole video about how our entertainment standards are getting worse. You can find that on this same channel that you're watching this video. So let's try to get that from 100 views to potentially 200.
150 even.
Right. Yeah. I would even take 110.